with a unboxing from Temu. Yes, I know that some people have trouble with Temu in general, but some people are on a budget and you can get cheap yarn there. It's just a reality. The yarn on Temu is in general cheaper than you can get at most big box stores, and they often have very little information. So I am doing this series as a service to those who feel that they need to shop there, and that's what I'm doing. So let's look at some of this Temu yarn that I got this time. I do have one more Temu unboxing in this series, and then I'm going to take a little break from Temu for a while and focus on some other stores, and I'm going to do a whole series on Canadian yarns, and so that is all coming up. So if you're not interested in the Temu content, let's try and say words. If you're not interested in the Temu content, other stuff is coming soon. Flip off, come back, all good. So I'm going to jump right in and get started because I think I've got 7 or 8 yarns here to look at today. And this first one, they call it a luxury silk blend yarn. Of course, like so many of these things on Temu, there's no actual name for the yarn. So I will, as always, put the listing up on the screen so you can see the vendor that I bought it from, because these things often are being sold by many different vendors, many different prices, and you kind of have to play the Temu game to see if you can find the best price. I usually find that the first time I see a yarn on the search results for that is usually the cheapest price for that yarn. That is a pattern that I have found. It is not always so, but usually so. If you add it to your cart and you think you've seen it cheaper, add the other one to your cart, and then when you're going, before you check out, delete the one that is more expensive. That's another strategy that I use. So it says approximately 600 grams, and with 12 balls, that would mean they're 50 grams each. I'll do a little bit of weighing, because one thing that I've found as I've been doing the reviews of Temu yarn is they don't weigh what they're supposed to. Quite often. So we will see how this does. It doesn't tell me up at the top in the description what the makeup of this silk blend yarn is. There are several different colors. The one I got, and I will pull those out. I keep them in the bags because, as you can see, there's a ball band on there, but there's no information on it whatsoever. So to try to keep things straight, I need to keep them in the bags they come from. But I will take it out of the bag and we'll look at it. That's called water red. And sometimes if you scroll down past all of the reviews, the reviews can be quite helpful as well when you're looking for it. You come to a section called product details, and you really have to sort of scroll for it. And there it says 60% silk, 20% cashmere, 20% wool. If that's true, this is a fantastic deal to get 600 grams of it for about 10 euros. Again, these prices fluctuate when you're looking through. So I'm going to give you the measurements of the balls. So let's open this. This one came in a nice Ziploc. Pretty good quality. Let's see if there's anything else on the... They actually have the color name on this bag, water red. That's very unusual, I find. I'm just turning my scale on here. And it does say, again, 60% silk, 20% wool, and 20% cashmere on the bag. So they're doubling down on it. You see, it's a very bright color. It's not coming up as bright as it is in reality on the camera. It's just a worsted weight yarn. Pretty soft. But if you also told me that it was 100% acrylic, I would believe that too. A very soft one, but that is also believable. Okay, so it's very pleasant, and it looks like it will be pleasant to work with. It seems to be decently woven. Yeah. I will work it up, and you will see it in a larger full-scale review. It is a very pretty color. Like, the camera really isn't doing it the justice that it deserves. It's really this lovely sort of berry color, and it's nice and soft. Like, you wouldn't have any problem putting it against your skin. Doesn't smell bad either. No, doesn't smell bad at all. Doesn't necessarily smell like there's any wool in it though either. So I will play with this a little bit more and get back to you on it and how it fares, what it's like to work with. So the next is a very, very variegated milk cotton. I thought it might be fun to do some kids stuff in it. Now, the term milk cotton is a confusing term for many. Milk cotton is usually not cotton at all. It's usually 100% acrylic, and this one is polypropylene, and milk cotton is known for being really sort of soft and like, I want to my head, I was like, feel this, and I'll grab a different one and let you feel that. Somebody invent that technology. We're yarnies. We really need that. We need the sensory experience of it. This one's pretty rough feeling, actually. It just sort of feels like a value acrylic. And the thing about milk cotton that is so pleasurable is usually that it's so soft and like both silky and cuddly soft at the same time. I have some very nice milk cotton that I've been working with that I bought just from some random Amazon purchase, which if I get that review out, I'll link it in the description box. This isn't that. It's extremely variegated, and I thought there might be like a bitty stripe kind of pattern or something that I might like to do for a baby or baby toys or stuff like that. But feeling it, I'm not sure I'd want to give it to a baby. It's not that kind of soft. How much more can I talk about the softness? But it's just because it's so surprising. You know, when I hear milk cotton, I have certain expectations, and those are not met here. So just be aware of that. I mean, it's not bad for a value acrylic, but it shouldn't be called a milk cotton. Okay. Says it's a 50-gram ball. Let's see. This comes in a 3-pack, by the way. Now that one's 40 grams with ball band. Says skin friendly right on the label. You see that? It's not so much. And that's 41. So once again, we're light on the weight. what else can I tell you about it? There's, once again, not a whole lot of information. It does say you can machine wash it on 40. So right there is a benefit for some. It does say lie flat to dry, dry in the shade. But right after it says you can machine wash it on 40, it says dry cleaned or hand washed gently. But it also says you can iron it. I'll do a little review and we'll see how it does. I'll wash it, I'll dry it. I'll see what it's like to work with. You can see the difference in the variegation of it there. I don't have high hopes for it. I don't. But we'll see. We'll see. Sometimes yarn surprises you. If it's not really soft at the beginning, sometimes after it's been washed and that, it really softens up. And if it's nice to work with, that can excuse a whole myriad of other things. So I will do a larger review and let you know. Especially about washing it. I have my drawer open here because I didn't want to put them all on the floor. And I'm using my table to hold the computer so that I can have my phone to have the actual listings here, because there's often not a lot of information on the packages themselves or on the yarn itself when it comes. So I would like to introduce you to Tomato, which I was really expecting to be red. But apparently in China, they're pink. It's pink, and it has some bluey purple flecks in it. I don't know how well that's going to come up on the camera. Yeah. I would bet my bottom dollar that there is not one single alpaca fiber in this. It's grabby. And what does it say is in with the alpaca? It says 95% alpaca, 5% acrylic. If anything, I would say it's the reverse. It feels like an acrylic yarn. Feels like an acrylic yarn. It says bright and elastic, and it actually feels like there's a little elastic in it, like it's very elasticy feeling. I dropped one. That's why I'm not weighing the other one. And my dog is currently sleeping on it as a pillow. And she's 16 years old. She's getting near the end. And so I don't want to wake her up to find that the other ball is 83 grams. It's also suggesting, and this is unusual. There's a lot of information on this ball band for a Temu yarn. It's recommending a 4 to a 5 millimeter crochet hook. Way too small for this yarn. This is a bulky 5. This is a 5 weight. Can we see it here? Yeah. That's a 5 weight yarn. A 4 millimeter on it would just be... Sorry. I'm like 4 millimeters what I use with a 2. Wait. I don't know. I think even a 6 might be a little small. And it's recommending a 4.5 to a 5 millimeter stick needles. I believe those would be knitting needles. The washing instructions are I'm not sure. I'm not sure what language I'm looking at. Maybe some kind of Cyrillic language. Yeah, not sure. But it is looking to me like don't wash it, don't bleach it, can iron on low temperature. I think that means hand wash. And then dry in the shade and lie flat. If you have Cyrillic or a Cyrillic language and can read that, tell me how I did. I'm using my little bit of Czech and my little bit of Croatian to try and figure that out. But yeah, so I don't think I want it against my skin. It smells fine. It smells fine. And maybe even a little woolly smelling. That has me rethinking. And it does seem to have just a little wool smell. But clean. Ugh. I am going to do a larger test. I'll do a burn test. But I really don't feel like this one's telling the truth. I just don't. So I'll do up a review and we'll see. We'll see. Now, what else do I have down here in my bag of tricks? Let me see. I'm going to see if I can pull up the listing for this because, as you can see, there is nothing on this, on the ball itself. But it's a little bit like search. Oh, there you are. There you are. Pull you up. Okay. So this is called Special Chrysanthemum. That is a difficult word to say. Special Chrysanthemum Yarn. Rainbow. Rainbow bean yarn. I don't know why it's called that. And I know I shouldn't have bought black. But I just like the way bright colors look with that black background. It's got like a mohairy kind of texture. Right now the listing says €2 for the ball. But at the top I don't have anything for weight or what it's made of or how many balls you get. When I scroll down, again, past the reviews, it can't, past the you might like, or you've looked at sections, it does say 48% polyester, 32% acrylic, and 20% nylon. But, again, no weight or anything. So, it's very difficult to tell. I didn't know if I was going to get 25 grams or 50 grams, 100 grams, 400 grams. You never know with Temu. So let's weigh it and find out how much it does weigh. 39 grams. So probably if they were listing it, they would call it a 50-gram ball. They don't. They just don't say anything. It comes in a good variety of... Oh, no, it does. Okay, on one of the pictures, when I was scrolling through to see how many colors it comes in, on one of the pictures, it does say 50 gram, about 50 gram ball. But it's cool looking, and I wanted to do a square for this, it's not really granny square blanket, but that I'm doing out of each square is a different kind of novelty yarn. And so you can see here... It's got quite a fuzz to it, and then it's got these little, like, colored pom-poms through it. So I just thought this was like a black with all these nice rainbow colors in it, and I thought that would be particularly attractive for that project. Um, it's it's not nearly as thin as I thought it was going to be. Like it may be a lightweight 3. The the yarn itself is probably a 2 weight, probably a sport weight, but once you add in those sort of pom-pommy balls, these guys, you're up to at least in that part a thick 3. So how you want to classify it, I don't know. Doesn't matter. That's what you're working with. So with that weight, because it looked like mohairy, it's really squishable. But I think that means it's got a lot of air in there. So I'm thinking we don't have a lot of meterage here. I hope that I have enough to do samples and a square. But that is all the information there is on this particular ball. But I thought it was combining a couple of sort of yarn trends, sort of this mohairy look, and then this also pom-pom fleck thing that we're seeing in so many of the yarns. So I thought, okay, I will check out this trendy kind of yarn and let people know how it is. €2 for less than 50 grams is not that bargain basement price that, it really mattered how much of it you were getting for that cost. But it does feel nice on my hands. So my suspicion, though, is you can get something like this closer to you or from one of the name brands for roughly the same amount of money per yard meter, whatever it is you're measuring in, and then not have to go through all the Temu rigmarole. Because, you can get really good bargains on Temu, but you gotta sort of sometimes literally play their games. So, anyway, I don't have a negative first impression of this yarn. I don't want to give you that impression. It just, once again, is not the weight it's supposed to be. And so then I'm not sure if it's a good value. But I will work with it. I will see what it's like to work with. I will do a fuller review. There is absolutely no washing instructions on it whatsoever, which, depending on what you're using it for, can be very important. So I will wash, I will dry, I will do all of that. Come back. Come back and see me. And speaking of coming back to see me, that subscribe button will help you get there. Hit the subscribe, hit the notifications, and then when these things are up, you won't miss it. Yeah? Win-win. What do I have here? Oh, yes, okay. This one is, sorry for the row. I wanted you to see how this one came. I did not do anything. I just pulled it out of the bigger bag that everything came in, and it was like this. And this one, in fact, was not even in. It had fallen out and was in another part of the bag. So, packaging fail. Has a packaging fail. But I definitely wanted to get a package of this yarn, and this was the cheapest I could find. I paid, at the time, and Temu changes several times a day even in the pricing. But I paid $2.50 for this curated 4-pack. And they did have nice curated packs. But you will see this yarn everywhere, from dozens of vendors in dozens of different ways, in 2-packs, in 4-packs, in 6-packs, in 12-packs, in packs of packs of packs, in color packs, in just a single color pack in these curated packs. It's everywhere. It is called, the name of it is Easy Beginner Yarn. And that's another reason I want to try it out. Oh, that color is not coming out on camera. This is like neon yellow. The color on camera that looks like is actually this color. So what this looks like is this one, and this one is neon yellow. Like, hello, welcome to Vegas, neon. Which I was not expecting. I was expecting it to be a real true yellow, but not neon. I wonder, let me see if I can. No, you're really not. It's really not getting the brightness of this. Like, I almost need my sunglasses and not my glasses. I'll turn the light back on. So just be aware. And then this one was a little bit lighter than I was expecting from the picture. What is happening here? Okay, good. And the orange is actually a prettier orange than I expected. I was almost thinking from the picture that I saw and the way it looked on my screen that it was Temu orange. It's not. It's not. It's a pretty, not quite pastel-y, a little bit richer and deeper in tone than that, but a pretty orange. And as I said, this yarn is everywhere. There is not a lot of information about it. They are supposed to be 50-gram balls. I'm about to measure them to see. And they are 100% acrylic. So this is like the major value acrylic on Temu. This brand. I don't even know if you can call it Easy Beginner Yarn a brand. I don't know if it is. It does have a proper ball band. It does have washing instructions. Warm water cleaning without bleaching. Normal drying without high temperature ironing. So, but the symbols are saying don't iron. Does say don't bleach. It says wash in 30 degrees, but it's the hand wash symbol. And then it's saying lie flat to dry in the shade. So maybe they think that is normal drying. For me, if somebody says normal drying, that means I can throw it in my dryer with all of my other kid clothes. And that's what I'm going to do to try it. And 100% acrylic, I really feel like you should be able to throw it in the dryer. I really do. It is kind of a nice curated pack. Whether you go in their order or you really try to, whoa, stay here, big boy. Or if you want to go from dark to light, or the idea is that these colors are all supposed to work together. And for the most part, they do. For me, and again, it's just showing up. If it was this color yellow, I would think it was wonderful. But to me, this one is just a little too bright for this combination. But maybe I'm just not a very bright kind of person. I don't know. Maybe it would really speak to you. But again, like, this is really neon. The rest are looking, yeah, a little more muted than they are, but not bad. Oh, that's, for the other colors, that angle right there is better. But this one is just, Vegas neon. Okay, so I will work something up with it, see how it is, how the twist on it is. Yeah, I'm not sure if my hook's gonna like that or not. We will see. Oh, and this is just your plain old worsted acrylic. Yeah. Okay. Moving on here. I lost the bag, but the bag was kind of lost when it started. So this one came like this, and I'm just going to pull it up on my phone because, well, it does actually have a pretty good amount of information on this green bag that it came in. But what I do, I like to pull them up because sometimes we see a difference between what is printed on the product itself and what was in the listing on Temu. Oh no, I don't want to rate, thank you. I just want to look at the product. There we go. About a dozen, this comes in about a dozen colors. And this is a little bit different, but some people like to crochet lace work. And I have been really enjoying the thinner weights lately, so I thought, why not? I have not crocheted with a zero weight in a long time. So this will be quite the... Oh. Ooh. Boing, 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 boing. Okay. Yeah, that has quite a spring to it. Quite a spring. It is really beautiful. Can you see a sheen on there where you are? Because it has a really lovely sheen. And I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do with this, but it will be lace work. We'll do some sort of lace work with it. Though I want to check it out because, you know, if you're going to make a tablecloth out of that color, you want to know if it can go in the washer and dryer. Or you don't have kids like my kids. And my kids eat dinner on this. I've got to wash it and, I don't know, maybe even bleach it. Should I bleach it? Should I see what happens? I to be quite honest, I'm scared of bleach. So when it says don't bleach, I'm like, oh, no problem. I'm not going to do that anyway. I will sometimes spray it with the water and put it in the sunshine and let like the sun do that natural bleach thing. But I'm scared of bleach. I'm always afraid I'm going to like ruin everything. But for you guys, I might try it out. Because, wow, if you did a lace tablecloth in this, that's going to be hundreds of hours of work. You're going to want to know exactly how you can treat it. And it says it's silk bamboo. It comes in a 4-pack. Did I show you that? Oh, I put it up here on the radiator. I love having a radiator there. It's just like having a little table. So are they telling me here what weight it should be? So it says 80% silk, 20% bamboo, lace cord pack, 4-pack washed silk. Okay. And then this, you know, typical safety stuff about the bag and made in China. And then the company information and name. What other information do we have on the listing? So far, they agree in everything. So they say it's a total of 200 grams. So when they say 0.5 ounces, but that's, I think what they mean is 50 grams. They just have a little something lost in translation there. So 48. Though, can you see in there? Like so many, like really it's the only way to do the string. It's on this cardboard ring. And it is usually a pretty thick cardboard. Yeah. I can feel it in there. It feels like it's at least 1 millimeter thick cardboard in the middle of that. So that is going to take up some of your weight. And if it's only 48 grams to start with, you're probably looking more like 45 grams of actual material 49, 48. And so it's really not doing too bad as far as 54. Okay. So this one is probably actually 50 grams of material. The others are within the margin of error, but again have that big cardboard core in them. I'll put those down so it's not rattling. That would be a ton of yardage. It does not say anywhere that I am seeing. Okay, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It does say on one of the pictures when you're scrolling through, one piece equals 50 grams and 291 meters or 318 yards of a zero weight. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So either that cardboard core is taking up an awful lot of that weight, or I don't know. Those length numbers really don't make a lot of sense to me with the weight of the yarn and how much the actual balls weigh. So it is suggested needle 1.75 to 2 millimeters, and yeah, I would say that or even smaller. This is what you use those little tiny needles for, if you, or in my case, hooks, if you're wondering. I mean, that's a 3.75, but if you're wondering what the little tiny ones are for, this is what they're for. They're for lace work. So I'm going to play around with the lace and see what we get to. I am going to do washer dryer samples because, like I said, if you're going to put hundreds of hours into making a tablecloth, you want to at least know what's going to happen when your well-meaning husband, mother-in-law, whatever, throws it in the washing machine on you. You're going to want to know. You're going to want to know just how protective of this thing you have to be. It's silk and bamboo. I personally have had very mixed outcomes. That's the word I'm looking for. Outcomes with both silk and bamboo. So, yeah, stay tuned. Oh, yeah, I can still feel that. And I think that cardboard core is accounting for a lot of that weight. Just feeling it. Yeah, the yardage might be accurate. And a lot of that weight might just be this cardboard core. So, is it saying true weight? Yes. Is it totally honest when most of that isn't the product? Anyway, it feels lovely. I mean, it feels like silk, and when you get that really nice bamboo, you know when bamboo first came out for socks and everybody was like, oh, this is so soft, and everybody wanted bamboo socks, and then they didn't hold up that great. This feels really soft and silky. I mean, it supposedly has a huge silk content in it. I will do a burn test. But very pleasant, and I think this was really inexpensive. Let me see what it's asking for today. Yeah, so 4 balls for just under €6. Yeah, it seems like a fairly good price if it is what it says it is, and it feels like silk. It feels like a nice silk, really does. So, can you imagine doing a shawl in that? I can't. I just don't have that kind of time. I don't have that kind of time, but That would be gorgeous. Okay, sorry about the crinkles. I'm going to put it away quick. And put it over there. And then I've got one last thing for us here, I think. And this was one of those, I didn't look at it very carefully before I bought it. Because it was sort of you're checking out, is there anything else you might like? And I don't know, it was like €1 or something. I don't even know. And I just sort of added it on at the end. I went, oh, that looks interesting. Okay, I found the listing, and I got it because it said 1-piece colorful suede yarn. And I wanted to know what a suede yarn was going to feel like. I thought it would feel like suede. But I think this might be another thing like milk cotton. It doesn't have anything to do with what it's named. Because it's 100% acrylic and doesn't feel anything like suede. So it feels really lovely. It feels like a very nice acrylic. And let's see. I think it might be chain spun. Though, for €3 a ball, for, let's see, how much is it supposed to weigh? I'm guessing 100 grams. It does not say there. I'm going down to the bottom to see if... Also, sometimes in that product details section, there are more pictures, and sometimes there are different pictures than there are above. And that's where, yes, okay. In that, there's a picture that's not up above that says the weight, 100 grams, and the length is 200 meters or 656 feet, 2 inches. Okay, don't usually see yarn in that measurement, but what is different than the listing is this has a name brand, Jackson. It says it's an 8-ply yarn. Now 8-ply, that's supposed to be DK weight. Yeah, I would say that is a DK weight. I'd say that's probably accurate. That's what 8-ply means, right? I think so. If I'm wrong, you can correct me, okay? Because I'm still getting used to everybody using different terms for things. Now that we're a global world, we really need some global crochet terms, don't we? Somebody who's much more important than me, get on that. Okay, it's made in China. Warning, long cord strangulation hazard. Not suitable for children under 3 years. Okay. Suggested needle size, and then they have a diagram of the needles going across. And from 3 millimeter to 5 millimeter. Okay. And those are clearly knitting needle suggestions. That's in 2 places on the ball. Reminding us to recycle the band. It says it's made in China, but it also seems to have a Australian mailing address. Interesting. Is this a brand in Australia? I've never heard of Jackson. Does anyone know anything about this brand? Is this like a name brand that you can get where you live? Somebody tell me. I've never seen it before. And that's all the information that's on the band. It does not tell you... Oh, yes, it does. 100% acrylic fiber. Okay. So it feels very pleasant. It seems like it will be easy to work with, but those are famous last words. It is not chain spun. Oh. It's S-weave. So if you're a right-handed crocheter, this could present you with some splitty problems. I will see. This one has no washing instructions. I'm just going to check the extra pictures here to see if it's on. No. So we don't have any washing instructions with this one. So I will do it up, throw some in the washer, throw it in the dryer, and see what happens with it. But yeah, it's a nice acrylic. At least the way it feels. I don't know what it will be like to work with. It's got sort of a silky acrylic feeling. It's got fluffs from something else, and I just took it out of the plastic that it came in. I had not opened this beforehand, so it's got some transfer fluffs from something. Oh, more here. You see the fluffies? Yeah. So I think for €3, I know I didn't pay that. And I was thinking I was getting suede. You know, it's just a little thumbnail that I clicked on to add it into my cart. That's like, what, $5.50 American dollars for 100 grams of 100% acrylic. I don't know that it's worth going to Temu for it. Anyway, I'll review it so that you will have all the information. If you were pulled in by the suede word that I was, and it does, like, to be upfront with you, in the title, if I'd gone to the listing and not just clicked add to cart, it does say 100% acrylic. It is upfront with that. But what showed on the thumbnail was colorful suede yarn. And that's what I saw and what I clicked on. So, could be like this milk cotton thing, though. I'm wondering. And I'm wondering if they sort of think of this as like a brushed silkiness, like suede has that sort of softness, but like brushed texture. I don't know. Now I'm trying to like make excuses. They have some really pretty colors. Like it's called turquoise, and I'm looking at it like there's something called peach pink and sky blue, which isn't sky, at least not the color of my sky blue. But those three together would just look so gorgeous in something. And so that might be a reason to spend a little bit more money on, I would say it's a premium acrylic. It's not a value acrylic. It's going into that premium acrylic category. So, you know, maybe to put those three colors together in a product, it has a nice sheen to it. I might reorder it for the right thing, because I am a fan of the colors it comes in, though not many. There's 4 solid colors, and no, it's not. There are 4 variegated colors and 3 solid colors, but the 3 solid colors would look really nice together. The variegateds for me are a little busy, but they're pretty colorways. So, yeah, for another project, yeah, I might reorder this. Though I'd work the whole Temu angle to get it for less than €3 a ball, which you can do. Anyway, that's what I have from Temu today. My next Temu haul will be what I think are, from what I could tell, higher end kind of yarns, or name brand yarns, or potentially knockoff name brand yarns. So that's what's coming up in the next package, which may even arrive today. We will see. And then I'm taking a little Temu break. I'll still be doing the reviews of all this stuff. I have a lot of yarn to sort of work up and review for you. And then I will be moving on to the Canada series and still catching up on some of the hauls that I have already unboxed with you. So that's what's coming up. Glad that you're still here to hear this. Appreciate you listening through the whole thing. And if you did that, you might as well thumbs up. You might as well hit that subscribe button. Make a comment. Tell me your thoughts on stuff. I would just love to chat about yarn in some kind of two-way chat instead of just talking to myself. Literally, I'm looking at myself going, this is what it's about. But yeah, thank you for joining me today. I hope you join me again. Have a great one.